As far as Urban Meyer is concerned, now, I have been predicting that Urban Meyer wasn't going to last the season. Ever since that story came out that he was hanging out in Ohio at his own bar with a bunch of young girls and enjoying himself, getting a lap dance or whatever the heck he was getting, I didn't think that he was going to keep this job very long. Now, his daughter speaks out, Gigi. She says that they're going to regret it. She's going to drop the hammer on the Jaguars. I don't know why she's speaking, because I think her father's a grown-up. He's a big boy, and he can handle his own problem with the press and obviously with the Jacksonville Jaguars organization. But Urban Meyer was not going to last long over here, because I just didn't think he should have taken the job when he got offered the job. He was more of a college coach. I don't think his scheme would fit the NFL. We've seen a lot of coaches from college football come to the NFL and their schemes just not fit. Nick Saban, who's one of the greatest college coaches of all time, his scheme, even though he was only in the league for a year and a half, 2 years, it didn't work in the NFL. He had a winning record, but it didn't work. Chip Kelly, who I think is a great college coach, it didn't work in the NFL. Winning record, didn't work in the NFL. And having a winning record and coming to the NFL and getting paid as much as you have over the years, and you've seen these college coaches, Jim Harbaugh was more of an NFL-style coach. He goes to college and hasn't succeeded there. But now he has a chance to win a national championship, and he could shut everybody up if he wins a national championship with Michigan, where they could not be thought to be there this year. But nevertheless, Urban Meyer has been a disgrace, an absolute disgrace. And I know everybody says he doesn't deserve to lose the job. I am an Urban Meyer fan. I followed him in Utah, in Florida, in Ohio State. He's won multiple national championships. This guy has won everywhere he's gone. So why did anybody think teaching college players as a drill sergeant coming to the NFL, it was going to work? His draft this year, his first year, was horrible. He drafts Travis Etienne when he didn't need him. Now they had Robinson all season long, and he doesn't play him. He has Trevor Lawrence speaking out, sticking up for Robinson because Robinson isn't getting played, and he's one of the more prolific offensive options they have on their roster. So I am not surprised Urban Meyer got fired, Speedy. Not at all.
No. One of the most disastrous tenures of any head coach in NFL history. Yeah.
It wasn't even a full season.
Exactly. It starts with hiring Chris Doyle, an Iowa strength coach who was saying racist things. That's their first mistake. Terrible draft. Anyone could have drafted Trevor Lawrence. Oh, big whoop. Reach on a running back. Reaching the second round, third round. Misusing all those guys. Tim Tebow for tight end. Oh, yeah, let's make that happen. He was saying Gardner Minshew was had a chance as a starting quarterback. Yeah, way to shoot your quarterback's confidence down in Trevor Lawrence. You say, all right.
By the way, Gardner Minshew is actually starting right now as we speak.
Come out and say, oh, I want a Kadarius Toney. Yeah, way to shoot your running back's confidence down when you drafted Etienne. Etienne gets hurt, obviously, but it's still not a good look. Obviously, the incident in the bar. Then, all of a sudden, it comes out, he kicks his kicker, Josh Lambo, for missing a couple kicks right before the practice of the last preseason game. Yeah, that's going to look good, too. Goodbye.
Well, and the press seemed to slip those stories as the end has come. And the ownership over there, Jacksonville couldn't keep him. With Trevor Lawrence, a player of that magnitude, a superstar player who's looked good this year, even with a really bad team, he's got some weapons. He's got more weapons than Zach Wilson. To me, he could have been better this year, but he still has had a decent season. He's still going to break 3,000 yards. He's still going to throw probably around 19 touchdowns. Zach Wilson has 6 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. That's not a good year for a starting quarterback. So I'm not trying to compare Zach Wilson to Trevor Lawrence, but they're always going to be compared because they were the first and second pick in the first round. Now, do I think that Zach Wilson has more of an option to be successful in New York? I do. I believe that the Jets, the money that they have and the draft stock they have, they've really put him in a good position to succeed if he figures out what his weaknesses are this year and becomes more of a prolific offensive option for the New York Jets. But Urban Meyer, not a surprise. As far as Week 15, the Chiefs knock off the Chargers in overtime. Sensational game. First game of the week. We have our first Saturday game this week, Colts and Patriots. So that's going to be fun to watch. I got the Colts in this game. I think the Colts are going to be very good, especially over the last couple of years. They just don't play well against the Patriots, either at home or away. But something tells me with the Colts, needing this game, they're going to come out very, very strong. They're going to figure things out. And I think they're going to win a very, very close game against this Patriot team. But the Patriots have been one of the best teams in the NFL. In the AFC, they're the number 1 seed. And if the Colts have any chance of really standing themselves into the 6th seed in the AFC, they need to knock off the Patriots. I think the Colts have a very good chance to win this game at home on nationally televised game.
Frank Reich, you better be ready for the Patriots to try to take out Jonathan Taylor. So you got to have an alternate game plan. Can't just trust him.
He has Pittman. Michael Pittman's a good player, a reliable offensive option. And Carson Wentz, who has had a good season, really has had a great season. He has an opportunity to really show people why the Colts made that trade and brought him in. And he could be worth a first-round draft pick going into the offseason. So that's a game that really stands out to me, the first Saturday game. Next week, it'll be 2 Saturdays.
Well, they were supposed to be 2, and then the Browns and the Raiders just got moved.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Well, that's because of the COVID situation. Right. And that could change a lot of people's options on making their picks, a.k.a. Jeff, saying that this week is just going to be a complete blowout because the Browns aren't going to have starters. Well, moving it to Monday, you know what that means? It means a lot of these players might be back on Monday. That tells me you might have to change your pick. But you won't because you're an idiot. Speedy, are you ready for our free-for-all picks of the week?
Yes, here we go. So we'll actually start with that Patriots and Colts game. You mentioned that you had the Colts. I guess you're kind of revealing your winner, I guess. But the over-under is 45.5. So where do you stand on that?
I got it on the under. I think this is going to be a very low-scoring game. I think it's going to be the battle of the running games. Which running game is better and which team is going to stop the other second team's option. So I got the Colts in this game. I got this on the under.
I'm going to take the Patriots. You mentioned that they don't have a good track record. I think Jonathan Taylor will still play well in this game. I think the Patriots will also try to game plan for Pittman, too, with J.C. Jackson having the season he's having. That secondary playing very well. I think it'll be a close game. I just don't know if Carson Wentz is the one I would trust in the close game. I think Bill Belichick will try to figure him out later in the game. He usually likes to force it down the field. Both these defenses very good, though, so I will also take the under, but I will take the Patriots. All right, let's go to the Titans at the Steelers, the over-under 43.5.
This is going to be an interesting game. The Steelers really need this game. If they have any chance of making the playoffs with that one tie, and a terrible tie against the Lions, I got the Titans in this game. I think Ryan Tannehill is going to come out strong. The weapons that they have, I don't see A.J. Brown coming back. He has been practicing with the team, but I don't think you're going to see him this week. But I still like this team. I think this team is more dominant defensively. So give me the Titans on the over.
I'm going to take the Titans as well. I think the Steelers' run defense being leaky has definitely been a big problem. And Tennessee has made it work running the ball even without Derrick Henry. Obviously, nobody's going to be Derrick Henry, but they've still made it an efficient run game where I think they can make a difference. And the receivers have done well with big plays, so I think they'll still be able to stretch the field. And Tennessee's defense has gotten good production in their front seven, which has been a good sign. They just signed Zach Cunningham as well to bolster that as well. And those linebackers have been aiding their corners even with all the injuries they've had. And the Steelers' receivers still haven't been great either. So the Titans, I think, will be able to contain Najee Harris and make it hard for Tennessee. So I'm going to take the Titans as well, but I'll take them on the under. And then the last one, also 43.5, the Packers at the Ravens.
I got the Packers in this game. I think going into Baltimore, the Ravens haven't looked good. Lamar Jackson looks like he's scared. I don't know what's going on with him. I love the Packers in this game. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think both teams are going to be able to score. The thing about the Green Bay Packers that worries me in this game is really going to Baltimore. It's going to be cold, and Baltimore is very good on their home field. So give me the Packers. I'll take them on the under.
I'm going to take the Packers as well. I'm going to take them on the under. I think this will be a lower scoring game than people expect. The Ravens defense has been still good in the front seven. Even with their secondary injuries, the Packers receivers outside Devontae Adams don't really have the capabilities of stretching the field to take advantage of that secondary. And the Ravens have struggled this year with pass-catching running backs, so I still think Aaron Jones does well, but I think the Ravens defense keeps it close. And Lamar Jackson, since his ankle injury, really has been playing kind of conservative more, so that doesn't bode well for this Ravens offense. Against the Packers defense that's been very good this season, despite all the injuries. So I'll take the Packers on the under.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, are our free-for-all picks of the week.